Hello, friends, nerds, punks, and others. Why is my... One second. Boom, there we go. So we're on a 6v6. Was about to be a 10v10, but instead it's a 6v6. We're on Canyon, obviously. Having no reference exceptions, but those don't matter. We don't care about those. We can just ignore those, pretend they go away. Sure, by now you've seen that 10v10. This is happening on the same day, even though I'm sure this is being uploaded at a very different time. Because on extreme matches like that, I like to get them out as soon as possible. So devs or modders or whoever who needs to see things put to the test can see them. 6v6 isn't going to be too much weirder than a 10v10, I think. Overall. We'll see. Canyon's a good map, but it does have kind of a dull, slow opening. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I think everything needs to get like a 100% bonus speed for the first, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes of this map. That would make it perfect. Just so that this start is just a little bit quicker. Just a little bit quicker. Not too much quicker. Things aren't like flitting around at the speed of sound. Just a little bit quicker. Looks like we're gonna be dropping out with the ANS team. Diamond Scimitar. That's an awesome ship name. So this one is bringing defenders as a primary point defense. Got some guns on the front. Just two. Jawville 15 bring this. Yeah, defenders bullseye. And Mark 64s. And a Sarissa support range. Ooh, Sarissa's a good call on a map like this. Scythed. Gun axe for Stonewall's defenders. Gun axe for Stonewall's defenders. As basic as it gets. He's killing it. That might actually be Oak. I don't know if Oak has Stonewalls or rebounds. It's basically Oak. Massive Dong just bring his combat voxels. And the guys with one voxel. Okay, with a couple missiles on it. 48 Mark IIs, not hybrids. That's not common. With some Reigns, which presumably also have the same Mark IIs. Yep. And they also have some hybrids. Do this have any hybrids? No, just these have the hybrids. Alright. Cool dude. Evil Reigns. Fighting voxel with a bullseye and guns and a hybrid launcher. Yeah, hybrid launcher. And this presumably has the same thing. And a naked scout. Okay. Darth. Guns, defenders. Only two guns? Yeah, not using the rear slot for anything. Not even a VLS-1. That surprises me. Those Mark 1 Valeras are really good. Or they can be. Also, versus OSP, I've found that bringing... Okay, and then I Eworn... PD Reigns... Found that bringing Mark 1 combat missiles are actually pretty useful and a good way to spend points. They're not always going to be handy, but if you can dump a few into the side of a bulker, it'll wreck a very dangerous threat for nearly free. Super worth. Aurora's Bastion Defender, extremely well-rounded point defense out of here. And some Mark 1s, which presumably have Bibles in them to launch at people. Guessing our aim is, but hey, they might be combat Mark 1s. I'd like to see that. Mass driver, 2 mass driver monitors. No point defense on them, which is unbelievably risky. EWR. A combat Ocello with 450s. Bastion, Stonewalls. Mark 1. And rocket launching scout, man. Kennedy bringing the gamble build, really sacrificing on the point defense to get these extra holes in. Because that's, I mean, there's a few hundred points of point defense saved, which is obviously going to be enough for this scout and its equipment. But at what weird, twisty cost? Sassy, flying on flank, as we can see from the burn in the menu there. Bringing one plasma team and one gun team. Well, it's got an EWR on top. A gun team, gun monitor. And another monitor, which is at the back end of this for some reason instead of right here. I don't know why that is. Oh, because this is just how it's organized in a ship viewer. Why would you do that? C-32-30 team to synergize with the monitor and the mid-tier weapon instead of the other one. Interesting. Rocket launchers, pinpoints. Okay. This has apparently fired everything. Down here at Gulf. At Javille's team. This is going to get absolutely obliterated by the RPF, presumably before it can even cap the point. Oh yeah. Javille's going to get on here and cap it. Skrow. Couple mass drivers, some container launchers. What are these containers firing? Decoys, mines, decoys, and rockets. Okay. I'd like to see. I wish people who used containers as off tools, as secondary weapons on these bulkers would make their own containers. Because I think you can actually get a lot of use out of customized containers on these as secondary weapons, especially as finishers. Those mass drivers, I don't know what he's gonna... I don't think any of these has the range. And just a couple mine containers doesn't really do much. You need like a critical mass of mines for them to actually matter. And frankly, I think you need co-op mines for them to matter. Because otherwise, they just function as a slowing tool. People can just slowly creep around and pick them off. That is neither here nor there. Bloodhound, Laser Dazzler. Nice. Not often you see Laser Dazzlers. Launcher 18 and a pinpoint. I think a lot of ANS players have just sworn off using EO because of the Laser Dazzler, since it's so effective. Like, if someone... It's just a hard counter. If you're firing EO against a Laser Dazzler, your EO will not get through. End of conversation. So I know I don't have any EO on my missile builds. And I haven't really seen many either. Some guns and a Mark II launcher on the back of this thing. A lot of Mark IIs coming along. Party, Star Bomber. Very interesting. And then a couple of tugs that can kind of fight and kind of scout and kind of E-war. It's weird. They fire... Ah, yes. This fleet. Flash Flood. Yeah, Flash Flood is right. Just roll off missile cargo feeders. This is stupid good, by the way. Really had to sacrifice in the point defense department. And obviously you have to suffer from compounding price of magazine. Actually, no, he doesn't have enough missiles to have that problem. But yeah, this sort of thing is extremely strong, and I honestly don't know what the ANS can do about it, other than be balled the fuck up. Okay, so all this has gone down. This rocket came here, got blasted by something, and this naked scout came here and got its command center scooped out by something else. In fact, these might have killed each other. I'm not really seeing anything in weapons range of these two. So, some missiles might have just hit this. Hold on, yep. Look at those big scoring. That's a whole bunch of rockets hitting one spot. So, this got the CC sniped out at the exact same time that this got finished off by whatever weapon was on that sprinter. No weapons on the sprinter. Okay, so they did not kill each other. This had to have been killed by something else. I'm not sure what. Let's do a little more forensic analysis on this. This guy, I mean, those are some big holes. Those look like missile holes, not bullet holes. But they came from above. One of these Voxels might have fired some missiles off at it. I don't know. Has anyone over here fired any missiles? 100%, 100%, 100%. There it is. This guy fired a missile at that. 2 missiles to be exact. Maybe more. Probably just 2 though. And it worked. Oh, lovely. Yeah, okay. So for the rest of the match, we'll be casting from here. We can see the whole... Oh. We can see the whole map. For the most part. All the important bits. And we'll just kind of have to guess what's going on. This went nuclear while I was digging around, as we can see. OSP taking pretty solid control of the top of the map. The mass drivers taking up positions up here. Aren't these... No, these are mass drivers as well. Are these? Okay, these are the missile ships. And the mass driver monitors are here. No, these are the missile ships. These are the mass driver monitors. Man, I am really out of it. Looks like these voxels getting tagged by Bellbird. They come up here, they're going to be in for a world of pain. All these different sources of gunfire. Yeah, the mass driver's firing now. Let's drop down and see those hit. Or miss. Yeah, 3 misses. Something clipped it. One of those might have clipped it, but gone through. Oh my. Yeah, those are hits. Mass driver's pretty good against voxels if you can get a good track. And I'm guessing that Bloodhound has some track correlators in it. 2 track correlators. Good man. Paying the track correlator tax. Look at this thing just get disintegrated by this barrage of mass driver fire. These things are so oppressive. I love them. It's the ultimate no, that's not allowed tool. Funny thing is, with the way the angling is, he probably would have been better off pushing forward and getting under this rock instead of trying to back up. Point of safety, because at least under here it can exert pressure on Charlie and Foxtrot. But back here, they're just, I mean, they're not doing anything back here. They can shoot, well, that's not entirely true. They can shoot at this ship. And yeah, that's the other problem. If the Bullseye team just pushes them, then the mass drivers can still shoot at them because their range is, I don't know, several times like 50 light years. That was a mess. I was trying to do something clever and it didn't work at all. Some missiles being snapped off at this team, but I don't think... Oh, I was about to say I don't think they're going to be able to sniff them, but they certainly are. No joy, though. The flak of this Axford able to clean that up. Easy peasy, easy peasy. Axford's backing off all these missiles going after these Ocellos down here out of the ANS. Looks like they're going to get soft killed. Ooh, a couple hits. And there's definitely been more than missiles hitting this thing with that kind of HP. Looks like Javille's voxels have been slamming into the side of this thing. Plasma fire coming in. Lots of plasma fire coming in. And the mass drivers have switched target down here too. Yeah, these are pretty beat up. So there's been a whole fight going on over here. Fortunately, it's very hard in TAC map to see what's going on canyons. It's such a large scale, it's harder to pick out. Oh, there's some dots flying around over here. Let's go to the action. And I'm just gonna look into it. I think these two are about to connect. Or have already connected, and this thing is hiding from these, so that's gonna get cleaned up eventually. What is going on over here? Okay, huge volume of missiles going after that Axford, which we're gonna watch while also keeping an eye on what's going on down here. So these voxels are getting shot at, but I think overall they're winning. These missiles, speaking of winning, are getting through the immense PD of the Axford and just killing it, and then switching off to another target. ARAD validators. Those have got to have ARAD validators with that Because they were definitely locked onto this, and they just swapped off of this and onto this. Good God. Well, so this is just dead. It has no restores. It has some teams, but oh, this is going to explode. Everything is critting. All the drives, all the reactors are critting all at the same time. That's absolutely going to explode. You need to get this ship out of here, Chief. Able to restore a few of these points, but this Axford's certainly worse for wear. Some more missiles being fired off. OSP able to chase the voxels away. Yeah, pretty effectively, actually. Well, maybe not. They're sticking and fighting. I don't think that's a very good idea. He's monitored. Well, he's monitored to taking more damage than I was expecting. I was gonna say these monitors are gonna be able to stand up to that 250 pretty damn effectively. Not really. Also, so the reason this Ocello got completely wrecked, for all those who see that Ocello is OP right now, and I don't know why this took damage, is because he's not bow tanking. It's getting broadsided, and the armor here is, well, it's not very armory. It's very papery. You really got to have the weird angles on the Ocello for the armor to be effective. That's why it got wrecked. So, bow tank your Ocellos. Ooh. More mass driver fire coming on the Saxford. And it's missing a couple guns. He repairs these. The problem is, if you repair these while you're still getting shot at by mass drivers and not able to fight back, they'll probably just get blown up again. There's that Axford going up, yeah, as expected. They'll probably just get popped right off again. That's a hard lesson I've had to learn on my missile solo. Is that if you repair things too early, they'll just immediately get destroyed if you're still getting shot at from the direction without being able to respond effectively. Couple hybrids going into this monitor here. It's pretty much already dead though, so that's a little bit of a waste. Cell is trying to get into the fight, not orienting to bow tank. So Piranha's going into this guy. Yeah! That's right! Super cool. Look at this! Look at that damage! Just has all these mines. That's what these are. Sassy just has mines littered around. Oh no, these are two different players. Mines littered around the field. So this team is taking some damage, and I think this guy took some damage. Yeah, that one. Damage. This is taking flank damage. They're headed to dagger. Delta. Oh, damn, I'm so used to hearing dagger that. Screw that up. I tried really hard to adopt to Space NATO, but I just couldn't. So I worked really hard on D, and then now I'm stuck on messing up D all the time. Yeah, but those are going to get Delta pretty easily. There's nothing OSP on that side of the map anymore now that that shuttle's dead. This shuttle might be trying to leave. Maybe 2 damage for that. Bye. See you later. Not as many hits as I was expecting, but enough. Enough hits. My rear gun's still operating, but it's not. That doesn't matter. This vertical duel over here. Something I really appreciate about Canyon is how vertical it is. It's seriously, it's awesome. It's super good. Super good. Look at him go. This voxel trying to get up in front to grab attention so that it'll switch targets, and that maybe this one can recover and heal a little bit, but that's not gonna happen. This thing's way too beat up to be saved. Sarissa ship, unfortunately, not really able to do anything. And I don't think it's gonna be that good against the S2 spam either, just because of the sheer volume of missiles. This Ocello continuing to take shots right in the broadside. It's fucking pains me greatly. I know Math Blob said something to the effect of it hurts my bones in discussion when we were talking about that a couple days ago. And it really does. Just look at how much damage. Look at how much damage this thing is taking. Damage that it absolutely doesn't have to. Those 250s, if they're hitting it bow on, would not be doing much meaningful. I mean, some damage would be getting through, of course, but it wouldn't be that much. Whoa, what is going on with these? Where are these going? Where are these going? Presumably going after that monitor fleet. What are y'all coming out of? Ah, okay. Only guys rocking the missile spam out of those VLSs. Oh, that's a bit of a tragedy right there. Missiles getting wasted in the rock. Probably a few from that volley too. Just taking that corner a little too tight. Oh, even worse. These are gonna all snake onto this already dead ship. Instead of onto the Ocellos, which, or these monitors, which this player presumably wanted them to go into. Yeah, we've all been there, Chief. Any missile player knows that immense pain and suffering. Oh, and he's fired so many. That's almost his entire payload, yeah. It's, yeah, it's like 60 or 70% of his total munitions. Probably like 58% of his total munitions. Just gone into a dead ship. That's a goddamn shame. Let's embarrass him a little bit. Just to be a jerk. Why not? Besides, it could have been anybody. I could be saying that to anybody. What's the fun of being online if you can't harass innocent bystanders? Looks like the second Voxel trying to get back in the fight. He's got his guns working, and, you know, at the end of the day, that's kind of all you need. Ammo elevators would be nice. Being able to actually see things with the radar panels would be nice. Being able to actually drive with the drive section would be nice. But all you really need is a reactor. Oh, man. This going after the other already nearly dead one. This thing was barely shooting when we came over here. So another just colossal waste of munitions. Very unfortunate. Not as colossal as the first volley, but not bad. This monitor team, man, pretty much dead. And well, this is already dead, obviously. And this one's going to be heading that direction. I think these Voxels might just win this fight, thanks to these Ocellos presenting their weakest side to be destroyed willingly and joyfully. Alright, this Voxel team has had to, is trying so hard to angle against these mass drivers and get something done, but they're, bro. You ain't never gonna get anything done. He's gonna come over here, he's gonna get to, like, this part of the map right here, get spotted by something, and then get mass drivered into the fucking ground. One of these rocket shuttles has managed somehow to get all the way over here. I don't even know where. I think he might have been one of the ones that was up here, and he's coming down and around to Backcap Echo. Funny, Alpha is completely open. This team sort of has eyes on it, but overall it's open. This guy might be able to cap Golf before the RPF finishes him off. Very kind of a risk switching targets like that in the middle of a fight. Well, this is Solo tipping behind cover, so not in that middle of a fight. The missile team, no, this is a different Voxel team. Man, so many Voxels on this team. I love it. Voxels rule, man. They rule, and you kind of need the extra speed on a map like this. Driving a Solomon up towards Alpha and just having it be your anchor point can be really strong, but overall, it's a lot more satisfying to do the small unit tactics thing with the Voxels. At least I think so. But I'm a little gay for Voxels. Because they're fast. You can put so many things on them. You can put missiles on them. You can put guns on them. And they're pretty tanky, but they're not super tanky. The speed is their survivability. Their ability to get out of a bad situation is how they live. You always want to take the engagement on your terms. I think voxels are one of the best platforms for doing that because they combine speed and firepower in a very powerful package. It's these missiles getting completely decoyed. This batch of missiles, however, not getting decoyed at all. Oh my god. We were talking about missile tragedies earlier. That's one for the history books. His team almost entirely taken out. This Ewar Rain's gonna survive. And both of these, I mean, they're not dead, but they're dead. This one gonna be able to, I mean, he could repair some of his things and get back in the fight, technically. This can't. He's out of restores entirely. He's got 1 gun, 2 guns, a defender, and a critted CIC. His drive section's surprisingly intact, but these things aren't going to be contributing in a meaningful way to this fight anymore, especially not if this Ocello can move in here and clean them up. Oh boy, let me up there, let me up there. Another volley coming in. The ammo elevators on those monitors helping, please. A great deal. This voxel getting killed. This voxel getting, well, heavily damaged, but not dead. This voxel about to be killed. Well, no, the flak is able to kill off a lot of those ships. A lot of those missiles. Took it a ton of damage in the meantime, though. Yeah, that's not the death I expected for these things, but that is a death that I expected for these things right at this area, too. See what I tell you? What I tell you? Boom. Look at that. I'm actually starting to figure out how this game works. How about that? Only, what, 400 hours on Steam at this point? Plus all the time I spent borrowing some other guy's account to test the waters? Jesus. And I'm just now starting to figure things out. Oh, TND just dipping just like that. He could still contribute. I don't like this. Because your ships are healthy enough that you could still be a menace to this fleet. At the very least, be a distraction to the top here. That's definitely a rage quit. You could soak up some more missiles from your opponents. I don't know. There are a lot of things you could do to add. This, another missile barrage coming down on a very unprepared Axford. Who's the cheeky capper with shuttles? That's going to be a little bit of everybody. We got Sassy here has been doing it. I think Skrow has been doing it. And I think Kennedy's been doing it too. Yeah, that thing's just dead. That player's dipped. Yeah, he's not happy about that. Still in the game. Definitely still in the game, but he's like, nah, fuck that. I'm out of here. OSP absolutely dominating militarily, but point-wise, ANS has been doing pretty good. It should, yeah. But, 1.5k. Guys, K is 1,000. It's not 100. Where are those going? Oh, I see. They're going into this dead ship. Yeah, is there a way to put Canyon force default 1,500? I think it's a bug report post. No, that's a server host post. That's what that is. Can message the guy who's servers. I can just add here. No, I don't think I have permissions to add here. OSP gonna take it with a points victory, but they've definitely taken the military victory as well. No question of that. Starbomber and Skrow have been adding, and so is Azure and Kennedy, but Wavefire completely dominating with those MLS2s. I gotta go see those damage numbers. 11,000, 6,000, 9,000, 14,000. Yeah. That's, what is that, like 35, 36,000 across all these? combined. Unbelievable. Strong OSP victory on cannon there. Yeah, he's not really able to do that much since they got wrecked by taking 250 in the side. Kennedy adding with his pew-pews, his mass drivers. Adosella participating as well. Not dominating. Yeah, Sassy getting kind of wrecked in that fight with the voxels and all these backcapping shuttles. Not really doing much damage-wise, but being a very important point contributor. Very important point contributor. And Skrow absolutely killing it with the mass drivers. Let's take a look here at the ANS team. Cool dude adding. 8k, I mean, not adding much. Got wrecked pretty hard. Dareth too. Yeah, I think that's kind of the story for everyone other than Javil, who was able to pretty much avoid getting MLS 2'd. Because everybody... Oh my god, that is painful. Scythe taken out of the fight before he could even really get into it. Yeah, that's the story of this whole team. Everything got killed by missiles. And some people are talking about that here in chat. Oof. Not good. Womp womp. That's okay, that was a good match. That was a fast canyon match. That was a really fast canyon match. I guess that's what happens when you get it on 1,000 points. Good games. All around. I hope you enjoyed, dear viewer. I'll see you in the battle space.